These are days and nights of blood. Heroes will rise as the anchors fall.
Hey, what's up guys, it's Cypher, and today I'm bringing you my Magicka Templar PvP build that I've been working on, the PTS. Now, this build is definitely not 100% complete because I've only been testing in the PTS and I haven't had a chance to test out all the different possibilities. Templar is a new class for me. I'm actually working on an Imperial Templar. The reason I chose Imperial is because I'm going to be playing Stamina and Magicka, and that race fits that criteria the best. So let's dive right into it. This is a Magicka Templar, and I'm just going to go over the skills, armor sets that I'm using for now, and I will update you guys slowly as we progress on my actual Imperial Templar on the live game and see what sets I end up sticking with. So front bar is going to be one hand and shield. Now you do have the option to go dual wield for more spell damage, but I prefer one hand and shield just for more survivability and stamina management. Radiant Oppression, this used to be a very overpowered ability, but now it actually works as intended as a very powerful execute, and you'll find yourself finishing off many opponents using Radiant Oppression. Puncturing Sweep, this is the Magicka morph of Biting Jabs. This is going to be your bread and butter DPS. Toppling Charge. Now what I really like about Toppling Charge is it goes through dodge roll, so it's guaranteed to hit. The knockdown is it knocks them down for about 2.4 seconds. It does a decent amount of damage. They fixed the delay that happens after you charge someone, so you can immediately Toppling Charge and then go into your Biting Jabs. So it's a very good Magicka gap closer. Total Dark. This is one of my favorite abilities that the Templars have. It is a reflect. It's a debuff that you put on your opponent for 6 seconds, and it reflects their spells, all their single target Magicka spells. So things like Lava Whip, Concealed Weapon, any projectiles, as in Magicka projectiles, Soul Strike, so Meteor, and then it heals you as well. For each spell you reflect, you heal for 4.4k, and it deals a small amount of damage when the effect ends. But this is a very powerful ability that I find myself using against sorcerers, any Magicka build. This completely throws them off their game because all their abilities get reflected. You can time this with a few other combos to do some pretty decent damage. Repentance. I have this on my front bar. Just by sliding this on my bar, you get 10% extra health, stamina, and Magicka recovery. And then when you activate it near, dead opponents, dead allies, dead NPCs, there's a lot of NPCs in the Imperial City, which really helps. Even your own Dwarven Sphere or other players' Dwarven Sphere, you can activate it on them, and you heal yourself for 3.6k health, and you restore 3.6k stamina. It's very useful for your stamina management. For our ultimate, I'm using Empowering Sweep, but if you have the Fighters Guild Ultimate, Dawnbreaker of Smiting, I definitely recommend Dawnbreaker of Smiting. It's a very good ultimate, does a lot of damage, AoE, undodgeable, and it fits this playstyle really, really well. Now on our back bar is our Resto bar. We're using Purifying Ritual, one of the strongest Templar abilities they have because it's much more powerful than Purge. Removes all negative effects, actually up to 5, which is pretty much all of them. You never really have more than 5, but it's very cheap to cast. You can cast it multiple times to remove any negative effects on you. It also has a small heal over time, and it's a group synergy ability because group allies can activate it and also remove negative effects that they have on them. Proximity Detonation. Now that it's an instant cast, it's very easy to put this on the build. All you have to do is press it one time and swap back to your main DPS bar and time the explosion with any of your combos, and you'll do a decent amount of damage. Structured Entropy for more spell damage. Healing Ward, just for an extra shield if you get really low health. And then Honor the Dead or Breath of Life. I was just playing with Honor the Dead just because I was doing a lot of one-on-one fights, but in a group or open world scenario, I think Breath of Life does a better job than Honor the Dead. And then Ice Comet is just like a finishing ultimate if you need to, or AoE. It's just a very good ultimate. I've used a lot of different combos with Ice Comet and Toppling Charge and Total Dark, so very good ultimate, and can definitely be used to knock people out if you need them. So passive wise, you're gonna want all your Templar passives, obviously your one-handed shield passives, your restoration stuff passive, light armor passives. Now with this build, I recommend 5 light, 2 heavy, or if you have the Undaunted passives, 5 light, 1 medium, 1 heavy. So if you have the heavy and medium armor pieces, or just the 2 heavy, make sure you put the passes in there as well. You want your Fighters Guild passives, obviously. You want your Mages Guild passives. If you have Undaunted, you put them in as well. Assault Support racial, it's a High Elf right now. High Elf is a very good racial choice for this build because it's Magicka based, right? But some of the top picks that I can come up with for this build, High Elf, Breton, even Dark Elf, Imperial, obviously. Those are my top four for now. Those are my top four for the Magicka Templar. I'm personally doing Imperial, not because it's the best, but because with an Imperial Templar, I can switch over to Stamina if I feel like it, and switch back to Magicka if I feel like it. I have that option. So let's go into armor sets really quickly. Of course, obviously we're using Engine Guardian. So I'm using one heavy, one medium for the Undaunted passes. On the live game, I don't have Undaunted passes, so I'd probably run either 7 light or 5 light, 2 heavy. So Overwhelming Jerkin, we're using the 5-piece of this set. It's basically like the martial knowledge, but the 2, 3, 4 are like martial knowledge. The 5th piece, though, I think is better than martial knowledge just because of the fact that the martial knowledge 5th piece doesn't really help that much. 10% can proc on just about anything, dots, light attacks, but this gives you an 8% chance when casting class abilities, and obviously we have many class abilities on our on our bar. So every time you cast an ability, you have a chance to get this AOE shock damage to latch onto your opponent for 6 seconds. It's a pretty decent DPS boost, and it sometimes helps get the job done. So we're using 5-piece Overwhelming Jerkin with 2-piece Engine Guardian. For our jewelry, we're using 2 Cyrodiil's Light Rings for spell damage, Necklace of the Willpower with Shield of the Willpower and Sword of the Willpower. Now this is giving us the max Magicka and spell damage. Our resto bar, it could be a Master's Resto. If not, you can also do a Resto of the Willpower, and that's going to give you the 2-piece spell damage, and then your sword and 2-piece max Magicka, and then your sword and board, you're going to go with the max Magicka and spell damage. So that's our sets, but this is going to be constantly changing as I figure out different setups that probably work better, or if the setup is going to work the best, we'll stick with this. Again, I'm still leveling my Templar, so I don't have a bunch of live experience, but I've been testing this on the PTS, and it's been working really, really well. There's a video on my channel. It's the only Templar PvP video I have on my channel, and it showcases this build in action. Now let's go into champion points really quickly. It's pretty self-explanatory. You want to put a lot of points into reducing the cost of Magicka abilities. You want to put a decent amount into stamina recovery. That's really important for you. A lot into Magicka recovery. 15 in tumbling. Every single build needs some tumbling because this reduces the cost of not just dodge rolling, but it's also CC break, which is really important. 40 into Elfborn, 21 into Blessed for more healing, 1 into Spell Erosion. Now you can put like about 10 into Spell Erosion actually, just because they did fix this passive and it does work a lot better. You don't use any elemental damage, so I didn't really put anything into there. You don't really use weapon attacks either. 40 into Thaumaturge for extra magic damage. Over here, block expertise. If you're using dual wield, you don't want to put any points into this, but block expertise just for extra blocking mitigation. 30 points into reducing critical damage. 25 into hardy, 15 into elemental defender, and then 11 into quick recovery. Now quick recovery increases effectiveness of healing received, and then blessed increases the effectiveness of any healing you cast. Now those stack together for a pretty decent heal that you get out of these 2 passives. So that's all we have for the champion system. This is based off of like 300 champion points that we got with the PTS templates. Let's just look at the character stats really quickly. For Mundus Stone, I don't have any Mundus Stone active on me, but what I do go with is the Achinok Mundus for more Magicka recovery. It boosts us to about 1900 Magicka recovery, which is pretty good for a Templar. Your stamina recovery is a little low, but you got to remember that you have a lot of abilities like Repentance that's going to help you with your stamina recovery and help you restore stamina. Max Magicka is really high. We have all our points into Max Magicka, but if you feel like you need more stamina or health, you can definitely take some of those points out and put them into stamina or health. 2k spell damage, unbuffed on our one-handed shield bar, 15k spell resist, 11k physical resist, and that's about it that we have for here. Again, you can go High Elf, Imperial, Breton, Dark Elf. You can pull this off with any race, but those are my top picks just for my personal playstyle and preference. Now I will have videos uploaded for Best Templar race, Best Sorcerer race, Best DK race. I did upload one for Best Nightblade race, and I'm just going to work on those other 3 over the course of the week. I will have more build videos being uploaded over the course of the week as I figure things out on the live game and test, guess and check and all that good stuff. So thank you guys so much for watching. Make sure if you want to see this build laid out in text and stuff, visit cypherpk.com. I'll have the link in the description to this build on my website. And if you have any questions regarding the Templar class or any build in general, just make sure you comment below and I'll try to get to them as soon as possible. Thank you guys so much for watching. Don't forget to subscribe for more Elder Scrolls Online content, and I will see you guys soon.